Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the ECL Pro Playoff Edition. I am Tegan. It's King Lime Blair. He is Brandon B. Major Bigsby, and we are ready for our second two-set of the night.
And man, Tegan, if we can get two games here, like we had our first two games between Renascor and RCTIC, boy oh boy, are we in for a treat as RCTIC able to get themselves a 3-1 series. But we got a little bit of action here in front of us between Phantoms and Eagles, two really solid teams that have had good playoff runs up to this point. So it's going to be fun to watch those two match up against one another.
Yeah, it definitely is. We saw Renascor come back and get that W in that last game to go 3-1. And we're going to hop over and take a look at the standings now, Brandon, before we get in to our next game of the evening.
Yeah, you see your top three with that number one spot in Group 1. Yvaskala already clinching their spot with a sweep in round two. Tohorit and Hana HC at 2 and 3. And as you can see right there, number 6, the team will be seeing Deadly Phantoms at 6. You can see all that depth there in Group 1, kind of assuring itself and all that, having a really good playoff series so far to start out in round 1.
Absolutely. So we'll pop over to the round of 16. Group 2 standings. My mistake.
And you can see the top three featured in that is the Phantoms matchup in Herlev at that number 3 spot, 28 and 2 on the season, with Ghetto Firebirds just in front of them, and Reality Check claiming that number 1 spot with the best record in that group. So as you can see, we're going to see two pretty good teams that were rather high up in their respective groups facing off against Phantoms and Eagles. Should be fun to see how two really good teams in their respective groups face off against one another.
Yeah, and there you look at the scores now is we're starting to get some more roll in here, Brandon.
Yeah, Yvaskala, as we mentioned, clinched their spot in the round 2 with a 4-0 series sweep. And how about Dynastia up 1-0 as a 7th seed over Ghetto Firebirds? We got to look at them last week, and they looked rather impressive. Would be huge for Dynastia if they could maybe get that game 2 win. And as you can see on the bottom, Herlev and Phantoms currently at 0-0, but that is going to be really fun to watch. It might be a 6th seed for Deadly Phantoms, but they are much better than what that seeding may suggest to some.
I'd even go far enough to say they're deadly, Brandon. Let's take a look at the team matchup here as we... Sorry, guys. We're going to actually take a look at the latest results here, Brandon, as we get a few more of those games in.
Yeah, you saw on the top of your screen, we had that 3-2 overtime win for RCTIC, and then Renascor had that 3-2 overtime win of their own. And we mentioned that Dynastia series, another overtime. We're seeing a lot of close games here in the playoffs, Tegan, and round 1 especially, as what we're used to seeing. Other than that Yvaskala series, you see 4 of the 5 total games are all playoff overtime games. That is so fun to watch. It's really what you love to see. Teams of this high of quality playing that close. Really, really love to see that. Really encouraging as we continue to move along here in round 1 of the playoffs and things continue to heat up even more.
Brandon, as we're having a little fun in the booth here. Now, I've been so excited to get to these team matchups. I'm going to let Guido throw it over there, Brandon, and we'll let you walk us through this.
Yeah, gotta love our guys here at Sports Gamer GG. It's always a lot of fun, but the marks that really stand out to me are the differentials offensively and in the special teams. The records are so even, but it kind of strikes you seeing how big of a difference there is on the goals for, goals against, and on the power plays and penalty kills. Obviously, Phantoms allowing a lot more goals than Herlev, but scoring a lot more than Herlev. Their power play, one of the best in the ECL Pro. Herlev penalty kill, one of the best in ECL Pro, while their power play has struggled. It's strength against weakness and strength against weakness. These type of series, you never know what is going to happen, because really, one of those times that weakness might be shored up and show up a little bit more of what you'd expect it to. This is going to be really fun to watch these strengths and weaknesses go up against one another nevertheless.
Yes, we'll pop over to the team lineup as both of these teams only 1 win, splitting their regular season record here. And we have for the Phantoms, it's going to be Path and it's C. Flows on left winger, Profane Kiss on the right hand side. Frankie and Psycho are going to be holding in the back end with my man RPH in between the pipes. And we head over to the Eagles. We have Vibholm, Karani, Sandello, Dreamicky, and Tyke down for the lineup. So let's take a look at these head-to-head center matchups here, Brandon.
Yeah, and we know how important centers can be, not just for the 3-4s, but really for the team as a whole. That center can really be the facilitator, especially if when you're trying to get in on the breakout. So these two guys right here in Puffin and Suff are going to be so big, and both of them really good tallies this season. 31 goals and 31 assists. That's 62 points in 30 games for Suf. And then on his opposite side in Puffin, 28 goals, 24 assists. So maybe a little bit lower in terms of the overall point tallies, but nevertheless, both of these guys, they are facilitators. They are good two-way guys that can not just put the puck in the net, but they can get themselves and their teammates set up in good and prime opportunities to get goals. We know how good Deadly Phantoms have been at that, so it'll be fun to watch those two.
Yeah, let's take a look at the wingers here as we have Falo and Profane Kiss for the Phantoms, Vibholm and Karani here for the Eagles, and these are great matchups here. Points respectively very close. These guys are going to be great to watch. They love to score goals. Karani loves to move the puck around and get it in there for secondary and first assists. We're going to see a lot of points from these guys, and they sure love running it to the back end here as we're going to take a look at who we have going head to head on D, Brandon.
Yeah, and this is going to be really fun because especially for Deadly Phantoms, you usually see defensemen with those low point totals. Not on this team. 50 points on the season for, Dreamicky. And then on his left D, Sandello with a high point total as well. Both of these defensemen for both of these teams really good at being able to contribute offensively. So not only are you going to see them show their prowess in their own end, but you're going to see them contribute a little bit for the Forest as well, especially on the breakout.
That's right, as, these defense on the Phantoms really love to get the puck up and get the points in, and those totals risen, as Brandon said. And then we pop back to the goaltenders where we have RPH going against Tyke down, and these two gentlemen have amazing numbers. 7 shutouts for Tyke down. They really expect to lean on him with a 177 goals against average, an 82 save percentage. This man is phenomenal. And then you look on the other side at RPH, who is amazing as well, with a 2.5 goals against average, 2 ticks off 75% in the save percent category, and 3 shutouts as well, Brandon. So these guys are going to be very exciting to watch. Me and you love the goaltender matchups, as we are always excited to go head to head, and these two guys are set up and ready to do it tonight.
Yeah, and it's going to be even bigger for Tyke down because how good this Deadly Phantoms team is at scoring. You saw they had over 100 goals for on the season, so it's going to be huge for Tyke down to get that goaltending hot and ready because he's going to be tested early and he's going to be tested often.
That he is. So, both of these teams very, very even here. Nevertheless, they did finish 3rd and 6th here, Brent.
Yeah, and what makes this series so fun is, like we said, they're even in record despite being in a bit of a different situation. But what makes it fun is it's a team that scores a lot versus a team that is really good defensively. We said it, over 100 goals for Deadly Phantoms, while Herlev hasn't even allowed 60 goals this season. So it's a strength against a strength and a weakness against a weakness, because while Herlev has not been able to score a lot of goals, Herlev has allowed teams to score on them a good bit with 80 plus allowed. So we're kind of seeing these teams match up against one another on what they're good at as well as what they're not as good at. And you really never know what's going to happen in games like this. So who's going to be able to step up, shore some of those weaknesses up a little bit? That could be the difference in who wins this game and the series.
Brandon, I got to point something out here. The Deadly Phantoms are running 4 puck moving defenseman and a playmaker. So this should be an interesting
yeah.
game. And if you guys want to tune in, February 9th, this will be tomorrow at 1945 Central European Time. You can join Tugi and Sin, the legends, in the booth with Jurgarden Hockey against Obreo first, and then ZSC Esports going against Granite Gaming. And that is going to be great action in the ECL Elite.
Yeah, and a few teams that have been really in the thick of that playoff hunt, especially with Granite being in that 8th spot, ZSC being in that 10th. Really fun matchups, and then you get Tugi and Sin on the call as well. I can't wait to tune into that one, so going to be a lot of fun hockey as we really are in that playoff time for the ECL here, Tegan. This is a lot of fun, and the ECL Elite, no different.
There's nothing better than playoff hockey when you're getting ready for playoff hockey, when you're tuning into playoff hockey. You get it today, you get it tomorrow. You're going to have it for the next coming weeks here at Sports Gamer GG. It's the ECL Pro Division. Phantoms going against Eagles. You see the respective lineups in the bottom corner, and we are started off. Whoa. Gets that one ahead to Pathin. Pathin's bumped off the puck. And it's going to be Dreamicky. Eagles in black, Phantoms in white. Here goes Profane Kiss. Tries to get that one ahead to Flo. He's bumped off of the puck. And the Eagles end up giving it right back, though. Flo with a shot on that one. Bounces off. Goes back to the corner. And here comes Sandello. Good pass up to Sooth. To Vibholm. Vibholm has it stripped, but Psycho gives it away, and a shot sails wide as Eagles get their best chance so far. That was Karani from the high slot, Brandon.
Yeah, Karani is that playmaker that we mentioned. Had the 42 assists on the season, higher than any other player in this series. So he's going to be a guy to really look out for when he has the puck on stick.
The other one gets that down deep. It's going to be behind the net to Vibholm. Good stick lift by Karani. Karani down to Vibholm. Back to Karani. Karani walks in, shoots, and a great save, RPH.
And we mentioned how the goalie battle was going to be big in this game, and RPH was the first really big save of the game and of the series right there. This is going to be interesting to see how these two match up against one another. There's going to be a lot of big saves in this game, Tegan.
Tie-up's going to be poked out to Karani here for the Eagles. The Phantoms pick it up, and here they go. Good job by Dreamicky to get that puck back. The defensive battle is going to be just as good as the goaltending battle in this hockey game as Dreamicky gets it back at the point for the Eagles. Walks the line, goes over to Sandello. Good passing as Sutherland tried to get that one across, but he couldn't.
Yeah, and it feels like Herlev early on kind of the aggressor through the first few minutes of this first period after maybe what was a little bit more even the first 5 minutes. Herlev really starting to get things going and get things generated. We'll see if they can get that first goal here in the offensive zone.
Seuss with a shot. That's a great face-off play by the Eagles, and they've had a couple of good scoring chances here to get around this aggressive defense of the Phantoms.
And RPH has been all over every single one of them, but very encouraging for Herlev. He said how offense was not necessarily their strength, but defense was, kind of showing that they can do it a little bit on the offensive end too.
That one's fired over top of the net, and the puck pops out down low. Vibholm gets that back to Dreamicky. Dreamicky's forced at the line by Flo, who gets the puck across. He tried to chop it across, as that would have been nice, but goes back to the point to Frankie. Frankie curls, looking for an option. Ends up back on Psycho stick, and he fires, and that's a good save. And we expect to see lots of shots from the point here from the Phantoms.
Oh yeah, this team loves to put it on net. They score for a reason. You cannot score if you do not give yourself a chance to put that puck on net. We see RCTIC have a lot of success with that. In that play style, Deadly Phantoms a little bit similar, so you'll see a lot of that in this game. A big reason why takedown's gonna have to be sharp.
Sus tries to get that in and over the line, but we'll get a face-off in the neutral zone. In the 0-0 hockey game. 9 minutes left in the first period as that one's tied up. Vibholm dumps that one into the corner. It's going to be left for Frankie for the Phantoms. And he works the puck up the left-hand side to Flo. Flo. Across, slap shot, and the rebound that popped out, but Profane Kiss wasn't able to put it home. Karani tries to get a retrieval pass from Dreamicky. Picked up by Flo. Flo tries to get it out of the zone. Karani gets it back, and it's on the stick of Sooth. Sooth dumps that one down deep. Picked up there by Frankie. Frankie tries to sauce that one through the middle. Good job by Sooth to pick that up. Back to Sandello to Dreamicky, and he works the puck out through Karani. Back to Dreamicky. Dreamicky, get past the heads. Karani over to Vibholm. He still has it. The shot is on. It slides through the RPH's legs, but he holds on.
Man, and we talked about beginning this series, how big the goalies would be. Boy, have they been great. In the first 15 minutes, you saw Tyke down with a few big saves. RPH has been great throughout the series. He's probably had the flurry of saves more so than his opposition. So the goalie battle coming to fruition here in the first period, to say the least, Tegan.
Yes, it definitely is. And, we're probably going to see these goaltender battles as we get through all of playoffs here in the ECL Pro Division. We thank our amazing sponsors at Wilhelm, ST Hockey, and Kovalon Lakrati. And, of course, everyone behind the scenes at Sports Gamer GG. As that one's dropped back to Psycho. He brings it down behind the net. Looks for the cut play. It's out front. The shot is on, but I think we're going to get a power play for the Phantoms.
And now is where we see that strength versus strength that we talked about in our pregame opening kind of come out to play. 43.2% on the power play as Deadly Phantom, 78.57% on the PK for Herlev. This is going to be interesting. This is a big chance here for Deadly Phantoms because it's a really good PK unit. We'll see if they can get something going for themselves here.
Yeah, we saw those pretty insane numbers on the PK and power play before we got into this game. And here comes Psycho over to Flo. Drops that one back to Frankie. Frankie to Psycho. Look to go down the Profane Kiss, but that's a great job by the Eagles to send that down. They kill off a minute, and here goes Psycho. Frankie, good pass through the middle. They stay on side. Here's Pathin back to Frankie. Frankie over to Psycho. Psycho, Profane Kiss for the speed wrap, but he can't get it around to the front of the net, and Sooth does a good job just chucking that down, and that'll probably do it here for the power play for the Phantoms. So a good start there, Brandon, for the Eagle.
Yeah, and that was big there for the Eagles to kill that off. They didn't really allow any high-danger opportunities. A lot of that power play for Deadly Phantoms when they were in the offensive zone was just kind of cycling around the boards and the corners, and they weren't really able to open a space up to get that one really good chance off for Herlev. So a nice job there for them to get that PK to keep this at 0-0.
Vibholm off to the races with Karani. Back to Vibholm. They give it back and forth, and maybe should have skated that, but decided to go back and forth so many times it kind of slowed up, but that takes us to the end of the period.
Yeah, and a very even period there, Tegan. We saw a lot of chances for both of these two teams, but the goalies stayed strong on those. We could easily have a 1-to-1 game, both for these squads, with at least one or two really strong, high-danger opportunities, but this is what happens when you get two good goalies facing off against one another like what we have in RPH and Taekdon. So not surprising to see nevertheless, but these teams showing their stuff and showing it well. I think it's going to come down to who can capitalize on their chances when they're there and who can limit their mistakes.
So time on attack leading a little bit more towards the Eagles, Brandon, and they were very good to start off on that penalty kill.
Yeah, and it's kind of fun to see that because we said how Herlev, as good as they were defensively, they were not the strongest team offensively. Doesn't mean they're a bad team on offense. They scored 89 goals. That's a solid tally for the most part. Just looks a little low on what they have just because of who the opposition is and what they have done, averaging close to 3.5 goals per game. But Herlev showing, hey, we're a good defensive team, but we are no trick pony. We can do it on the offensive zone as well.
Puck is going to be brought in by the Phantoms, looking to go to work. They give it away to Sandello for the Eagles. Sandello tries to get that ahead to Sooth, but the winger there in Vibholm is a step offside as he maybe thought the rock was coming to him, Brandon.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those just slight miscommunications where you think you might have that pass open and it just doesn't go to you. An unfortunate play, nevertheless, there for Herlev, but hey, they've been good so far in this game. That's just one little slip-up, one little blip in what's been a really good offensive game for them in the first 23 minutes or so.
Pathin fires that one on and pops off a body up to Sooth, and Karani gets it up to Vibholm. And that one's going to be offside again, so Pathin picks it up for the Phantoms. Battling Sooth. Pops out to Psycho. He just dumps that one in, but the Phantoms are offside. They're going to have to tag up, and a little interference ran on Flo there to keep him offside as Dreamicky tries to get that ahead, but it's the 3-on-2. Here comes Profane Kiss. Fires, a scores! What a shot placement by Profane Kiss to drop that one backdoor for Flo.
And how about what a play from Flo there to be in position to get the rebound. He saw the Kiss was going to put that on net. He just ripped that on in the perfect position right off the pad, and the puck just bounces perfectly to the stick of Flo, who had himself there and nothing but open space and an open cage to put that one in. And it was going to be interesting to see who got that first goal. Phantoms gets us to start this game out in the second period, up 1-0.
Puck saw stop, and the Phantoms look to get a second one. Is a good shot by Pathin, but a better save by Type Down. Here's Vibholm in his own zone, looking to break the puck out through Sandello. D to his partner, Dream Mickey, to Karani, to Dream Mickey. Dream Mickey sends that one in. Picked up by Vibholm, he takes it out and he scores! What a goal by Vibholm!
He might have had a little bit of help, but how about that play from Vibholm? 28 goals in the regular season, and man oh man, the goal scoring does not stop in playoff time if you're Vibholm. A great and timely response from Herlev right after they had dropped that lead.
Yeah, I think that was put in by their own player, but nonetheless, that was a commanding and demanding play by Vibholm to come out and get that one in and get an answer quickly as he drops that one back to Dream Mickey. Dream Mickey carries that through in the breakout. It's given away to Pathin, and Pathin carries it ahead for the Phantoms. Pathin drops that one back to Psycho. Psycho carries that one back behind the net to Profane Kiss. Profane Kiss, left-hand corner to Flo. Back to Profane. Takes his time going back to the point shot on as they look for the tip, and Sandello swallows up that rebound. They don't want to give away another one, Brandon.
Yeah, cannot do that. It's been such a back and forth game so far where you kind of want to be ahead of the momentum if you can. So you don't want to allow another goal here for Phantoms. And that was a great job there from Herlev to get it out and get something going in the neutral zone, to enter the offensive zone. Maybe get yourselves at least. We'll see if they can capitalize on that here.
As 61% of the chat saying the Phantoms are going to pick this up, and 39% say the Eagles. And with an answer like that, Brandon, I'd suspect it's going to be a little more 50-50 in this one.
Oh yeah, Herlev has been up to par and as advertised, and maybe even a little better than what we gave them credit for offensively. Deadly Phantoms kind of doing what they've done all season, putting shots on net, getting themselves opportunities when they're in the offensive zone. This is going to be a really even game throughout, Tegan. Going to be fun to see how this plays out.
Frankie fires that one from the point. We've seen about 5 shots come from the point as those D-men love to get in on those points, and it works for them, so why not?
Yeah, that's a big reason as to why they have so many points. 44 points for Frankie on lefty, 50 points for Psycho Skills on righty. So it gets to show you how active they are offensively. It's a close one there for Phantoms, Tegan.
As Vibholm gets that one ahead to Suck. But Profane Kiss brings it in. Nice move, but that one pops all the way back out. Psycho's going to have to reset here. Goes over to Profane Kiss. Profane ahead to Pathin. He has Profane, but a good job by Sandello to get in the lane. Vibholm up to Karani. Karani, nice saucer passes. He had Seth cutting to the net, but couldn't connect. Here goes Flo the other way. He fires that one wide. Picked up on the right-hand side to Profane Kiss. Back to Psycho. Back to Profane. Profane gets that one to Pathin. Tries to speed wrap it. It's going to be intercepted by Seth, and the puck eventually gets up to Karani. Karani over to Dream Mickey, and he brings it in on the left-hand side. Wraps that one around behind the net. Picked up by Psycho. Is just as good as these defensemen are for the Phantoms on offense. They are on defense, but that one's going to be iced with 1:30 to go in the second period.
I don't think that could have come at much better of a time for Herlev, because it kind of feels like the momentum in terms of the offensive generation shifting towards Deadly Phantoms. Feels like Herlev has had their backs against the walls here in this period.
Here's Dream Mickey. Goes down to Karani. Karani on the hash marks, taking his time. Back to Dream Mickey. To Karani. Looking out. It ends up back. It's Sun. Oh, he has Karani, and he misses the net wide. As what a passing play that was by Herlev to end off the period here, as Dream Mickey might have one more chance. Ahead to Vibholm, and that one's taken away, but what a passing play there at the end of the period, Brandon.
Yeah, and we said how Herlev needed to get out of their own zone and get something going. Well, they did that in the last 30 seconds or so right there. A few opportunities, one off the post and one just wide past RPH. And now, a tie game in the third period. Where have we seen this before, Tegan? Feels like you've been saying that all day.
Yeah, it has been even games, but that's what we expect in playoffs. Our last series was a 4-5 matchup. This one being a 3-6, and all these teams could probably go head-to-head against each other and have close games.
Yeah, we said how both of the two groups here in the ECL Pro had so much depth. You're really seeing that play out, and when that depth shows is when these teams match up against one another, because you never really know what's going to happen. A 6 seed like Phantoms could easily be a 3 seed like Herlev. There was only 1 point that separated the two, so it kind of just goes to show you how good these teams are in this division, and it really comes out to show when they play against one another, because that underseeded team can play up to that weight, because it's not like there's a big discrepancy between the talent and the way that these two teams play. So you're seeing how good, how talented this pro league is, and man oh man, has it made for some entertaining hockey so far in these 3 games.
That is the best thing about the ECL, is that there's so many skill levels, so many people that can play each other, so many great teams, and it always makes for amazing hockey. I am It's Kingline, he is B Major. You see your respective lineups in the bottom corner. It is Phantoms against Eagles in a 1-1 game here in the 3rd period. Puck up the left-hand side. That one's picked up by Dree Mickey. Vibholm over to Sutton. Sutton, little self-bank pass. Look at this play. As what a good job by Flo to get in the lane of that one, but good offense here by the Eagles, Brandon.
Yeah, now unfortunately that momentum on offense is going to come to a sudden halt, because a power play opportunity for Deadly Phantoms, a great power play, or a deadly power play, you could call them in Deadly Phantoms, as we talked about earlier. So a chance for them now to take the lead after Herlev seemed to get things going the last 5 minutes or so. So we'll see if they can kill this off and get back to that momentum.
Watch the Phantoms look to get that puck back to the point and move it around, as most of the time the puck's going to be coming from back there on a single or double pass. Here comes Profane, gets it back to the point. As that one was close, Frankie tried to send that one over to Profane, but he couldn't thread the needle, and Psycho dumps that one in left-hand corner to Flo. Flo, back to the point there to Frankie. Frankie, nice give and go, and what a goal by Frankie!
Maybe you should be doing analyst and play-by-play, Tegan, because you were spot on, right on the money. It all generated from the point. Both defensemen, a little tic-tac-toe between the two of them, and it was captain by captain that got the goal there for Deadly Phantoms in Frankie. A beautiful one-time clap bomb there from the point, and Deadly Phantoms get their first lead of the game on the power play. After what was a little bit of a stalemate there offensively for them from Herlev.
That was a gorgeous goal, and what a good time for FBK Esports to bring in the raid. We thank you so much here at Sports Gamer GG. You are watching some ECL Pro action tonight, as that one slides through and they score! What timing, as Vibholm does it again!
Man, Vibholm has had a touch and a nose for the net in this game. He got the goal to start the scoring off, and now when his team is down for the first time, he comes back just a few minutes later and gets it right back, tied now at 2-2 apiece. He wants another one!
Puck up the left-hand side. It's going to be sent all the way down. Can they beat out the icing? Flo does. He chops that one over to Profane. Profane tries to carry it out front. It's going to be taken away by Sandell. A good move by Vibholm, and the answers here by Vibholm is just an amazing for Herlev in this hockey game.
Yeah, it's a good text conversation, just really quick and fun responses between these two teams. You saw Herlev get the early lead. Deadly Phantoms came right back just a few minutes later. Deadly Phantoms got that power play goal. Just 2 minutes later, Herlev comes back and gets one of their own. It has been a back and forth game, a trend we've seen in the playoffs so far, especially today between our 3 games. It's going to be a tight game. Could come down to that one goal yet again here, Tegan.
Profane brings it in, hits path, and looks back for Profane. They've tried that once already, so close. But a good job by Herlev to get in the way. Profane gets that one over to Flo, and here come the Phantoms. Flo gets stripped of the puck by Dree Mickey, and he just slows things down and gets things going for the Eagles up the center of the ice. Tried to thread that through, Seth picks that one up offside with 9 minutes to go here in the 3rd period.
And just like what we saw in both games 3 and 4 between RCTIC and Renascor, we're starting to get to that point where you maybe start thinking that the next goal that goes in could be the one to decide the game. So both these teams going to really have to try to open up that space for themselves and get themselves some opportunities.
Tilton, appreciate that sub here at Sports Gamer GG, as well as the puck gets wrapped around to Flo. Flo fires that one on. It goes off a skate over to the right-hand side, chopped on. And a good pickup there by Profane. Over to Flo, and he can't get the backhand on as he was being harassed by Dream Mickey. And Sandello gets the puck up the right-hand side. Sooth trying to carry that one in, helping Vibholm. And Vibholm finally picks it up. Here goes Psycho working it out for the Phantoms. Vibholm would probably feel good to come out and get a hat trick here for the Eagles, but not if the Phantoms have anything to say as they try and get a backdoor shot, as that was basically what the first goal was, Brandon, but this time the save was made by Tyke Down.
And we knew that Tyke Down was going to have a lot to say in this game. He was going to have a big impact on how this game went, especially with a little time to go.
Erlev goes to work now with 4 minutes to go in the third. Puck held in by Sandello, down to Vibholm. Here's Suth in the right-hand corner. Over to Karani. Karani back to Dream Mickey, takes a retrieval pass back to Karani. And it pops over to Vibholm on the other side, down to Karani. Karani back to the point, Sandello fires! Big save by RPH.
We spent a lot of time talking about the goalies, and now is when that goaltending becomes really important, because you are in a situation where that next goal that goes in very well could win the game. So it's even more important to come up with those big saves and make the saves that you were supposed to make. You see both of these guys in RPH and Tyke Down doing so far.
I think it's pretty safe to say last goal wins, but a dive isn't going to let that happen from Tyke Down, and we have a 2-on-1 the other way. Here comes the Eagles, passed over at RPH. What saves at both ends?
Oh man, and with under a minute left to go too, you can feel the intensity really starting to ramp up here in this game. An offensive zone face-off for Herlev. They've been great when they can establish. Let's see if they can get something here.
Puck over to the right-hand side as Psycho brings that and sends it all the way back over to Flo. Flo gives that away to Sandello, who goes to Dream Mickey, who works it out for the Eagles. Good job by Frankie to get that puck up. Shot on and steered away by Tyke Down. Picked up on the right-hand side here by Psycho. He's deep below the goal line, and we're going to see a power play and a late one here for the Phantoms.
Yeah, and we saw the Phantoms, they were able to take the lead earlier on a power play goal. Here's another chance for them to do it, only this time with a minute left to go in the game. Like you said earlier, Tegan, they're great from the point. Watch out on that, especially with an offensive zone draw.
As I apologize to Tyke Down, it is Takedown. I apologize for that, but he is phenomenal, as I'll get to know his name now, that's for sure. Profane Kiss with a shot on and Takedown with a great save.
Yeah, and he's hoping he can help take down this power play of Deadly Phantoms that were able to beat him earlier in this game. He's been sharp through the first 20 seconds or so. He'll have to keep it up here with a lot of time to go in this power play.
Look at the point. Frankie holds it in, fires, and a good save there by Takedown. D-to-D, Psycho. Psycho may be looking to go back to Frankie. It's in front and picked off by Karani. And it's all the way down. And well, what a game we've had here.
Yeah, 3 games we've get the call here, Lime. A third in overtime. So we are getting plenty bang for our buck here. A lot of extra hockey in our first 2 games. We're going to get more of it here. And man, oh man, Tegan, we've seen a little bit of everything, haven't we? Great defense, solid offensive plays, and of course, as we predicted, big saves from the 2 goalies in RPH and Takedown for Deadly Phantoms and Herlev Eagles, respectively. And as you can see on your screen, a bit of a shot differential. You're seeing Deadly Phantoms get more opportunities, but man, when Herlev is able to get those opportunities, they are really of high danger.
They definitely are. We're looking at a replay here that was just, why not throw it into the middle there? And we get another overtime period here, and we're not shy of these tonight in the ECL Pro, are we?
Yeah, we're really not. We've had a lot of fun action if you are just joining us here. We had 2 overtime games between Renascor and RCTIC. We're going to get a third here in Game 1 of our 3 versus 6 series of Deadly Phantoms and Hurlef. Can't wait to see who wins. It has been so even throughout.
As we start overtime here, you see your respective lineups for the Phantoms and the Eagles in the bottom corner. We want to thank Eki very much for bringing in the raid. You're going to get some great overtime hockey here. As I still gotta thank Eki for covering me when I was under the weather there. As here goes Psycho. Psycho, left-hand side, over to Flo. That one's dropped back. Frankie, back over to Psycho. Psycho, will he look to go back to Frankie? No, he puts it in front of Pathin. Karani picks it up, and Pathin gets it right back. Pathin, back to Frankie. Frankie, over to Psycho, and he can't get it through, and it's going to be a 2-on-1 the other way, shorthanded. Karani, he's holding it on the left-hand side. Flo does a good job to get that one back, and here comes Flo into the zone. Drops that back to Frankie. Frankie in front of Pathin, he's bumped off of the puck. Profane kiss, back to Flo. Profane gets that back around to Frankie at the point. He fires at a blocker, saved by takedown. Dream Mickey over to Karani, ahead to Suth, back to Karani. And things slow down a bit for the Eagles, but not if Frankie has anything to say about it. Karani takes it right back, but here goes Frankie the other way for the Phantoms. Flo, back to Frankie. Quick little toe drag, and Frankie brings it in left-hand side. Good bump by Karani, and the puck's taken out here by the Eagles. Sandello dumps that one in left-hand corner. Dream Mickey has it back at the point. Shot is on, and a big save there by RPH. And here go the Phantoms out of the zone. No, Vibholm trying to sneak in his hat-trick goal, and wouldn't that be celebratory here in overtime?
Oh yeah, Vibholm has been the goal scorer for Hurlef with both goals in this game, and every one of them, it's been at the front, and that he is so dangerous and has a nose for that blue paint. He's almost at it again there, Tegan, real close.
Puck behind the net. It's going to be brought out there as an aggressive play by Suth, but he couldn't get the puck out front. Here's Sandello. Gets that one ahead, but the stick lift by Psycho takes it right back. Puck gets sent all the way down. Dream Mickey's going to work it out from his own zone. A little bit of miscommunication there, so they reset, and here goes Karani. Karani still holding on. Another reset as the trap is strong here from the Phantoms. Sandello goes back and says, let's try again. Sandello carries that ahead. Eagles offside. Textbook defense here from the Phantoms, and here goes Frankie to Psycho. Psycho dumps that one in left-hand side, and now the Phantoms are a step offside.
Yeah, and they'll go ahead and touch up on that one to just get the face-off and see what you can get from that, but pretty even overtime throughout. A couple chances for both of these two teams. You see the shots a little bit lopsided in favor of the Phantoms. We'll see if that comes back to bite Hurlef, or if that one chance can be the difference for them.
Vibholm down to Suck. It's going to be put down to Karani. Karani looks to cycle it, but it's going to be picked off by Pathin. Pathin has it poked off his stick, so Vibholm gets that back to Sandello over to Dream Mickey. Dream Mickey comes in, and that's offside. This defense by the Phantoms is fantastic in overtime.
Yeah, and you're seeing both defenses really step up here in overtime, especially what's been a really high-flying, high-paced game between these two teams. You've seen a lot of offsides, a lot of teams having to touch up really quickly. It's been great neutral zone defense from both sides. We'll see if that keeps up.
Here's Karani. Sauces that one down low. It's going to be moved back to the point to Sandello. He's poked off by Flo, but a good job by Vibholm to get the puck back. Vibholm, here he comes. Moves it out to Suth. Suth looks across, and that one's taken away by Frankie. And here go the Phantoms 3-on-2. Profane over to Pathin. That one's stolen by Vibholm in the right-hand side. Vibholm, he's bumped off the puck and hit hard as Flo tried to backhand shovel shot that one on, and Sandello takes it away and gets it ahead to Suth. Here goes Karani. Good drop over to Vibholm. He's tripped, and we'll see a power play now for the Eagles. And this power play, Brandon, has been deadly.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because this is the first time that Hurlef has been able to put their power play to use. They've seen their penalty kill get a lot of work in this game, but the first time they could get that odd man advantage, and no better time to get it than in an overtime playoff game, as we get another look at that nice one-time goal that got Deadly Phantoms up 2-1 earlier, but now Herlev, you weren't really able to get a lot going for yourselves in that neutral 5-on-5 play. You get that man off the ice for Deadly Phantoms. You get a chance to establish the zone. Big thing is, can you take advantage of it and get this game ended with an overtime winner?
Deadly Phantoms are such a fun team to watch with their offense coming from the defense so often, but it is going to need to be the defense that is deadly right now. This will get a defensive zone face-off here for the Phantoms. Face-off is going to be won by the Eagles. Karani back to Sandello. Sandello, they drop the puck to Vibholm, and he walks it out to the line to Dreamickey. Look at the passing here by the Eagles. Here's Sut. Back to the point to Dreamickey. Over to Vibholm. Back to Dreamickey. Vibholm fires, and that one's robbed by RPH. I don't think he got all of what he wanted onto that puck.
Yeah, that's about a minute of the power play. That was a really patient approach there from Herlev. Just kind of pass. First shot that they saw that had some space, they took, but that was a lot of time off. We'll see if they get a little bit more aggressive.
Dreamickey just dumps that one down low, and that's going to give Flo an opportunity to walk the puck out. Good play by Flo as he takes that and dumps it all the way back into his own zone. And then they send it all the way around and down, so that'll probably kill it here. Dreamickey now, as maybe they'll get one last breakout with the man in the box, Sandello. They don't, as Sandello can't get the puck, and he gives it over to Dreamickey, and we're back to even hockey. Flo trying to bring the puck in. He can't squeeze it in. Karani's going to give it a shot. Karani does, down to Sut. Back to the point to Dreamickey. Dreamickey has it poked off his stick by Flo, and the defense from both of these teams is uncanny as we get in the last 2 minutes of the overtime period. Dreamickey moves that over to the right-hand side. Profane Kiss is bumped off. It's back out to the point here, and it's going to be reset by the Herlev Eagles. Dreamickey dumps that puck in. That may be the way. It pops right back out to Pathin, so unfortunately not here, but here comes Psycho. Good stop at the line. Over to Pathin. Pathin's poke off by Suth, but he gives it right back to Pathin, and Pathin resets it over to Psycho. Psycho, right-hand side. Profane Kiss now. Shot is on as he tried that sneaky shot short side. Or, sorry, far side for Flo to be able to pick up, but not that time.
Remember, Tegan, that was how the first goal of the game went in. A quick little kind of pass shot there from Profane Kiss. Flo was there in position and buried it in on the rebound. It's a close chance.
As that one goes off his skate and almost trickles through. Dreamickey. Over to Karani. Karani tries to go between the legs, but Profane takes it back up the right-hand side. Here comes Psycho. Psycho walks in, fires, rebound for Flo, and 2 huge saves by takedown. And a power play coming back to the Eagles in the last minute of overtime.
And Deadly Phantoms, they were able to kill off that first. Now they're going to have to do it yet again here. Remember, this is that weakness versus weakness that we talked about. Herlev 19.98% on the power play, while Deadly Phantoms just 68.63% on the PK. It's going to be fun to see who can win this battle, and all with the game on the line too.
As Karani tried to rip that one on, it's going to be blocked. Is a little more of an aggressive attempt there, Brandon.
Yeah, and you saw Herlev, they weren't as aggressive on that first power play, just kind of passed it around, waited for the most open look they could get. Shooting to start out on this power play, a much different look than what they had on the first one.
As Karani spins, looks out front for Sooth, but it's picked up and shot to the point. Dreamickey does a good job of keeping it in, but Flo gets it right back. Dreamickey down to Karani. Vibholm, he's wide open in the slot, and a great blocker save by RPH, and they get that one all the way down. Here's Vibholm. He drops the puck with 16 seconds to go here in the period. The Eagles try and get in. Karani finally does. Dreamickey. Karani at the point. It's going to be Sooth. Down to Karani out front, but he can't find anybody. And we're going to go to overtime period number 2.
Oh man, and Karani, we talked about him being the playmaker on this team. 42 assists, more than anyone on either of these two sides, and I think if there was a player there in a black jersey, we might have been calling a game winner there, Tegan. But nevertheless, once again, a double overtime period. We have not been shorted of action, to say the least, my friend. And man, with so much on the line, playoff hockey, two teams They're so good and so even with one another. You just love to see it. You cannot ask for much more than what we've gotten here today.
Yeah, it's a 0-0 series here, and this is going to be a great one to pay attention to as the Eagles look to soar over top of the deadly Phantoms and get a goal on the power play. Their power play has been deadly. How long before it strikes?
Yeah, you just kind of have to wonder, and I think that's why it is so important for Herlev to keep this thing, unless they're going to get their own power play. Gotta keep this thing in 5-on-5. They did good in that first overtime, not getting themselves in any penalty trouble. Now you gotta get themselves a power play here that can work and take advantage. Don't want to push this thing any longer with the way that Phantom can create chances for themselves.
Flo does a good job and just drops that one into the right-hand corner. And here come the Eagles with 40 seconds to go in the power play. Sandello does get it in. Profane Kiss does a good job, just flicks that one all the way down, and great job by the Phantoms here as the Eagles power play has been deadly, but not as deadly as the Phantoms penalty kill. As the puck's in the left-hand corner, kicked out. Vibholm trying to capitalize on a chance down low, but these Phantoms are just so good right now as Pathan carries it out. Sooth does a good job coming back, gets it to Dream Mickey, back to Sooth. Sooth tries to get that one into the zone. Here comes Karani, spins backhand. What a save. The wrap around the puck, still loose. Another big save by RPH. This is unbelievable. Another big save by RPH as that one comes from the point.
Man, RPH keeping this game alive for Deadly Phantoms. He did not go ghost in a big situation right there. Multiple big saves to keep this thing going. Phantoms has to get this out of their zone in quick.
Another big save by RPH is what pressure by the Eagles. They came out after that power play that they weren't successful on and just put their foot down here, but RPH has been shutting the door.
Yeah, 4 or 5 shots since that power play. And like I said, Phantoms got to get out of their own zone. This is not bearing well for them with the way RPH has had this pressure on them. Got to figure if they keep putting that pressure on their goalie and on that defense, they're going to break through. So important for Phantoms to get some momentum back going for themselves. They have their backs against the walls right now.
Profane Kiss with a good interception there as he stopped the puck from coming into his own zone, but Vibholm takes it off the stick of Psycho. And here come the Eagles. Good job by Sooth to get that puck into Karani. Across, Sooth fires, and RPH again shuts the door.
And the goalie showing up big yet again. RPH could very well be one of the first stars of this game, depending on how this goes. He's been absolutely major the last 5 minutes here.
Whoa. Good pass ahead as, look at this, we see Psycho activating, gets it across, and the pass couldn't be complete as Profane looked like he had a tap-in backdoor. Sandello up to Vibholm, poked off. And Psycho gets that ahead to Profane Kiss. Into the middle to Pathan. Pathan stops and fires, and takedown makes his, I think, what is his first or second save of the period.
Yeah, it's been pretty quiet for takedown in this overtime, and it really been all Herlev offensively. We saw RPH having to make a few big saves, takedown saying, hey, now I can do that just as much as my opposition can.
Here's the DDD shot as they scored on that with the goal that was the second from the Phantoms, and they almost did it again, Brandon.
Oh man, that was really close. That same D-to-D play, that was a ripper from the point. Like you said, they scored that power play goal on that. Tried to get it right there, just didn't go that time. Takedown all over it.
Puck brought up by Dream Mickey. Up to Karani. That one's going to be taken away, and we're going to see a 2-on-1. It's Flo trying to get it over to Path, and he does, and the shot is on, and a big save by Takedown.
And now we're kind of seeing a changing of the guards. You saw a large stretch where RPH had to show up big and make multiple saves at a key point. Takedown now having to do the same thing. That goalie battle really showing itself in this double overtime. As
we get closer to the last 5 minutes in our 5th period of the game, 2-2. Here comes Vibholm, tries to put that around to Karani. Profane Kiss sauces that one over to the left-hand side. Here goes Frankie. Frankie throws it over to his partner, Psycho, who's activating down low again. Psycho. Little pass behind the net is going to be picked up by Vibholm for the Eagles as they work the puck in. Good job by Flo to stop them at the line. Frankie, left-hand side. Is finally pathing, gets it back for the Phantoms. They're just going to reset that as they couldn't get in. Great trap and defense on both sides, but Profane gets a nice entry. Profane, down low to Pathin. Back to the point to Psycho. Psycho fires, and what a save! Takedown again!
Yeah, it took a while for Deadly Phantoms to get in the zone. As you mentioned, Herlev was really strong defensively, but a smart job from Deadly Phantoms to reset, get something to open up, and give themselves a chance. Now they have an offensive zone face-off and a chance to try to win this game off of this face-off play.
Here's Pathin as he won that draw himself, but Vibholm comes in to kind of winger take it away. And Frankie has the puck for the Phantoms. He curls around. He's forced by Vibholm. Vibholm gets the puck back. He's down below the goal line. Out front, Karani's shot is on an RPH with a great save. Seuss, Vibholm, Karani, he scores!
The playmaker becomes the goal maker for Herlev. Karani with an overtime winning goal when it was just looking like we might go to a triple overtime. Karani puts an end to all of the conversation. And wow, Tegan, what a game. We saw Herlev kind of go for that behind the net play where they tried to pass for the slot. It hadn't been successful. There was always a defenseman there on that play, but they finally got the space to convert, finally able to beat RPH, who had been hot in that game, and Herlev with a hard-earned 3-2 double overtime win.
And what a win it was. The celebrations aplenty there, Brandon, and well-deserved. Both of these teams are so evenly matched, but Herlev comes out and takes a massive W in this first game of the series to go up 1-0.
And not only that, but remember, that was just game one. We have a few more of these, and with the way that game went, we could easily have 5 or 6 more games between these two teams just like that one. And one of them, we're going to get to call here in just a few minutes, Tegan. The action is not done. We have seen so much good hockey, so many tight games and tight moments, and it's not over yet. This is what you really love to see. It is what you play for. It is what you come here as Sports Gamer GG to watch, and the ECL Pro today has more than provided it.
Yeah, what a goal by Karani as he finishes that in our last 2.5 minutes of our 5th period of hockey. As you take a look at the replays here, and it was pretty impressive by Herlev to come out against these Phantoms, being the 6th place team, and with their power play not being successful when it was so successful this season.
Yeah, and on that game-winning goal, if you notice, it looked like Phantoms had 2 defensemen chase on the passer there, and it left that space for the pass to be open, and Karani did not have a body on him, so he was able to get the pass clean and get an open look, and that was the difference on that play compared to the other times when they tried to convert that. That time, instead of one defenseman going forward where the puck carrier was, and the other one staying at the slot, both chased, and it left that open space for Karani to bury that through. A nice job from Herlev executing. And we always talk about it, Tegan, that one little mistake, that one little defensive lapse can make such a difference in these games, especially in overtimes. We saw it happen right there in that game for Deadly Phantoms, and unfortunately for them, they'll go down 1-0, but I think they have a lot of positives to take into this game too, for sure.
Yeah, both of these teams are so evenly matched, Brandon. It's just very hard to say it could go either way as Herlev picks up the first win, as you see the series score update in the top right-hand corner of your screen. And here is the poke check that ended up being a little bit of a broken play goal, but they don't ask how, do they, Brando?
Yeah, they asked how many, and you can see it looked like they were just trying to get that pass in front of the net from behind the net again. There was a poke check put on. Usually a poke check is helpful to the defense, and unfortunately for Deadly Phantoms, it was not that time. And some of those goals, it's going to happen like that, but you know what they say, right place, right time. It can help you out a lot, and it did in that situation there for Herlev.
Speaking of right place, right time, there's Karani as we're getting another look at it. He is wide open there in the slot. He makes no mistake. RPH has to be back deep in his net to try and make that save, to respect the player behind the net. And Urlev comes out with a massive, massive W. We saw the Phantoms use their defense as well, Brandon, which we expected between Psycho and Frankie. They're very good at moving the puck back and forth. Do you expect to see more from them in game two?
Oh yeah, 94 points combined between Frankie and Psycho on the defense for Phantom. So it's one of those teams normally when it comes to point totals, you're used to seeing the forwards with those 50 to 60 point totals, and usually defensemen, if you reach that 20 mark, that's considered to be doing pretty good. But both defensemen for Phantoms averaging around or over 2 points per game. So that really shows you that it's not just 3 forwards that are contributing on the offense. It is a game and a unit of 5 that can really contribute. And you saw that especially on that second goal where they had a play set up on the offensive zone. They cycled it around, and it was all generated from the point. They get a point past D-man to D-man. They rip that one-timer home, and it converts. So it is a 5-man unit and a 5-man structure that they all kind of have their equal opportunities to get things going, and more times than not, they're going to take advantage of it. So I don't think Phantoms really need to change anything. They played well enough, just a matter of a chance here and a chance there, maybe going in this next game that may not have been game one. So we'll see how that kind of seeds itself out, but don't think you change too much here if you're Deadly Phantoms.
Yeah, I don't think you can, Brandon. Let's go over a few of these stats here that is just so impressive to show how close these teams are matched. The shots only 4 shots apart. The hits only 5 hits apart, leading for Herlev. Only 35 seconds more time on attack for Herlev. These teams are 1 face-off apart, Brandon. You can't change the way you play here. You got to go out and just try and maybe get the bounce your way. As it was really just who got the chance there. There was a broken play that ended up being one of the goals in the game, and that, if you really want to look at it that way, it was what led to the lead.
Yeah, and if you want to talk about bounces, even on that game-winning goal, I know it's easy to say that Deadly Phantoms maybe not the best positioning for 2 defenders to chase the puck carrier behind the net there when he was looking like he was going for that wraparound and ended up going for the pass. But you have to remember, that pass hit off of the pad of RPH, so it wasn't even necessarily a clean pass. It took a little bit of a bounce, so sometimes it's just that play here and that play there. Not every win and loss is necessarily completely under your control. That's no different than in real life hockey and in NHL esports. You see that play out the same way. So for Deadly Phantoms, just got to keep doing what you're doing and hope that maybe a few more opportunities and a few more bounces open up and go your way here in the next game.
And we will keep doing what we're doing right after a word from our quick sponsors.
Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.
Loistava vapauttava syöttö ja sen jälkeen ollaan karkumatkalla. Minkälaisia ratkaisuja tulee? Tämän kaverin nimittäin on ollut todella kylmän viileä näissä paikoissa. Kilven räpylän puolelle kummalle tulee. Liikkuvat taakse, kiekko maaliin! Ja Vilhelm jälleen kerran nakkikioskille. Smokey Bites ja Snacks ovat tuoneet hienosti lisää leveyttä Vilhelm joukkueeseen.
Welcome back, everybody. Yeah, our final game of the evening here in the ECL Pro. What a win there from Herlev. We're going to take a quick look at our playoff matchups as we've got a few updates, Brandon, and then we're going to get right into things.
Yeah, as you can see there, we have a few updates, especially in a few of our series that are really, really close. You see Ghetto Firebirds tying their series 1-1. Norix Gaming, the underseed, getting 2 overtime wins. And overtime, Tegan, that's been the theme today. A lot of overtimes. 3 overtime games in their series. An overtime game in game 1 between Deadly Phantoms and Herlev, as we just saw. And an overtime in the 2 other series as well. So that parity that we saw in the regular season showing itself in the playoffs. A lot of close games between a lot of evenly matched teams.
Yeah, I'm excited to see where this goes. As everybody on the left side of the board was so close, Brandon, and we spoke about that. 2 divisions coming together, everybody so tight, but it's going to be Phantoms against Eagles. We're going to see more overtime games than I think we're going to see regulation wins or losses here, Brandon.
Oh, yeah, and I think that that is what makes this whole playoff so fun is that obviously you know that you're getting evenly matched teams, but it's not often that you're going to see so many games go into overtime and have so much on the line where just one play, one goal decides between who can move on and who can go home. We've seen a lot out here in round one. Just got to hope that it keeps up because, man, oh man, it's been so fun to watch and be a part of.
Game number 2 in the ECL Pro Phantoms going against the Eagles. Your respective lineups, you saw them in the bottom corner of your screen. Here comes Vibholm. Vibholm walks into Susan. What a save by RPH. I think Psycho might have got a piece of that, but definitely a good start to a team effort to this game as Profane Kiss comes down the right-hand side. He's pinched off by Sandello and gets it over to Dreamicky. Dreamicky through the middle, and the trap goes back to work for the Deadly Phantoms, and they are looking good in these red jerseys, I say, Brent.
Oh yeah, looking nice and sharp, hoping the home threads can do them a little bit of justice here to try and tie this series 1-1. But like you said, RPH, a big save. Not surprised to see that he is picked up right where he left off in game 1.
Sandello over to Dreamicky, up to Karani. Back to Dreamicky, back to Karani. Good give and go, but Psycho picks it off, but good sticks here by Sooth. Gets it down low. That's going to be poked off by Flo. Flo coming back to help. The puck bombs out front. Good job by Psycho to retrieve that. Psycho up the left-hand side to Flo. Saucer pass is picked off by Sandello, and the defense coming out strong and showing why this game almost went to triple overtime. Sooth. Karani looks back door, and good defense by Frankie as we're seeing it from both sides. Puck up the left-hand side. Profane and Flo both working. Psycho with a shot on it. Pups loose up front. Dreamicky kind of just let the controller stand to make sure he could control that, Brandon, and they work the puck out. Puck is going to pop over to the right-hand side. Vibholm goes back to Sandello, and he's going to reset the puck to Karani. Karani back to Sandello to Dreamicky, over to Vibholm, and they bring that puck in. Psycho gets it right back. We'll see who comes up with it. It is going to be the Phantoms. Pathin up the left-hand side. Drops that back, and it eventually gets right back to Pathin. Fires that one on and steered away by takedown. Vibholm brings that puck out for the Eagles now. As they're having a little bit of trouble breaking the trap here, Brendo.
Yeah, and we saw where the defense have been so key. Obviously, we talked a lot about the goaltending for both of these two teams, but a good goalie can only do so much while a quality defensive play in front of both of these teams have shown that so far.
Sandello battling. Profane Kiss comes out with it. Flo gets that one over to Pathin. Back to the point. As Profane gets it to Psycho. Look for these D-men to activate. They hit Profane, but Karani, 200 IQ play by him. Over to Vibholm. Fired on, steered away easily by RPH. Here's Sooth. Looks to get it across. Picks it right back up. He's alone in the slot. No shots from him, though. Sends it back to Vibholm. Takes a hit to make a play. It's out front and a good shot on by Karani, but a better save by RPH. And here go the Phantoms. 4 minutes to go. Profane Kiss drops that one. Back shot is on it. A huge blocker save by takedown. Massive saves at both ends. Profane Kiss wraps that one around to Psycho. Psycho goes to Frankie. Looks back for Psycho. I bet it's going back to Frankie. It does not. Down low to Profane. To Pathin. Pathin walks it out on the backhand. Pathin gets that back to Psycho. Down low, back to Psycho. Shot is on. It's blocked and steered wide as we get into the last minute here. Profane. Down low to Flo. Profane shot is on in that one. Whether it was the post or the blocker, what a way to keep that puck out as Sandello tries to bring it in with 30 seconds left. And one slides past the goaltender there. It's going to be sent ahead. Flo with 6 seconds to go. Vibholm. They do have a chance here, but a good job there by Psycho. Is that's a 2 and... Oh, when a goal is put in there by Sooth.
And that is extremely unfortunate there for Deadly Phantoms. They had a couple of unfortunate bounces in game 1, and unfortunately, they're going to get another one here to start out game 2. Looked like it was just a regular pass that just banked off the boards, hit off of a skate, and then went in past RPH. Nothing that anyone on Deadly Phantoms can really do. And all in all, with under a second left to go to boot. So unfortunate for Deadly Phantoms, but goes to the benefit of Herlev. They're going to end this period up by 1 by a rather interesting circumstance on that goal.
Yeah, I'm not really sure how that worked here. I'd love to get another look at that. It looks like it just kind of bounced off the back of the net, Brandon, and then popped out front off a skate and in. So these games are so tight that goals like that are going to happen.
Yeah, and that's just one of the things that you cannot control, and you just kind of have to move past it there if you're Deadly Phantoms. I'd love to get a replay of that goal, like you said, if all possible. Looked like there was a breakout attempt. Deadly Phantoms tried to go back, pass it back maybe just to end the period out, I'd assume, and it took a weird bounce off the board. Let's see.
There it is. As the pass goes back there, Sooth comes in and it goes right onto his twig, and he just shoves that in short side with the hole. That's a great play. You know, that's a right place, right time goal. Yeah. And in a game so close like this, Brandon, those are the chances you need to capitalize on.
And it shows you two things. One, you never give up on a play despite what time is left. And two, positioning can mean so much on those plays, because Deadly Phantoms, they were pretty obviously trying to just get that one down low, kill off the rest of the clock, and end the period. But it took that unfortunate bounce. Sooth was in the right place at the right time, took that bounce. He was right in front of RPH to get there, maybe get a piece of the stick on the puck to push that one through, and it goes to Herlev's advantage. Now, if you're Deadly Phantoms, how can you move on past that and get a response to tie this game up? That's the big question. We'll see how they do it.
ECL Pro Playoffs. This is game number 2, and Dream Mickey says, give us our second goal of the game. What a play.
And Herlev, they say our defenseman can score too, everybody. And it was Dream Icky, the right D, on that play to get the second goal of the game. And how about the stick movement? A sharp little cut to the backhand to get that pass off, and a perfect, another right place, right time goal to cut in front and get that goal. And Herlev now, for the first time, a more than one goal lead. Now Deadly Phantoms really gonna have to try to get something going to climb their way back into this one.
So great pass by Dream Mickey. He hit Karani backdoor, and he was able to get that puck in. And that was just a 200 IQ pass by Dream Mickey to thread that needle for a nice easy tap in there for Karani. As here comes Flo on the left-hand side, out to Profane. Back down to Flo. And now the Phantoms really need to get to work, as we're seeing a little bit of activation here from the defense of Herlev. Profane kiss behind the net. Out front, good block by Sooth, and he clears that one out to the neutral zone. And we've seen so many tight scores. I think this is our first 2-goal lead. Flo gets that one across to Profane. Shot is on, and that one's blocked. Profane, right-hand corner, down to Flo. Flo sends that back to the point, back to Flo. Flo looks up top, but he can't hit Pathen. Pathen gets it now. Pathen wraps that one around to Flo, back to Pathen. Pathen looks out front. Karani in right space at the right time once again, helping out Dream Mickey get that puck, but in the other end of the ice. Here comes Sooth, trying to send that one ahead, picked off by Psycho. Psycho carries it down the right-hand boards. Good defense here by Herlev. And Flo gets that out front. Shot is on, and takedown with a great save.
Yeah, and Herlev gonna need that now. They have the 2 goals and a nice little cushion now for the first time, really all series long. So takedown, a spectacular goalie. They have to show his stuff and keep doing what he is doing. It's Herlev has a nice little advantage. Gotta keep everything in front of them now if you're the team in white.
Here's Sandello as he wins that face-off from the back end up to Karani. Karani sends that one in deep. It's picked up by Psycho, and he sauces it up the left-hand side to Flo. Good job by Dream Mickey, and he gets it over to Vibholm, up to Sandello. Good touch pass to Sooth. Back to Sandello, back to Sooth, and that one's poked off his stick. And it finally gets out from a path in there to help out Karani now. Karani for Herlev, walking it in. Staying on the forehand, trying to take it to the corner. Profane kiss comes back and helps out. And here goes Pathen ahead up the left-hand side for Flo. The pass is out of his reach, but no icing on the play. Dream Mickey for the Eagles, coming up the left-hand side. Into the middle to Sooth, up to Karani. Karani walks the line, looks to make a pass over to Vibholm, but he couldn't find him. And Dream Mickey doing a good job over to Sandello. And that, Brandon, is dangerous, as the Herlev Eagles defense has been so good that when they have this 2-goal cushion, you have a goaltender like takedown in net. Is that one shot on, blockered away? As that could have been a bad commentator's curse. Back to the point, Frankie, back to Flo. Up to the point to Frankie, fires, and that's a great block. Flo now looks for the wraparound, it's still loose, and Pathen couldn't shove it in. As good work here by the Phantoms. Profane, right-hand side to Psycho. Psycho stops up. Shot is on, and a good glove save there by Takedown. Puck back to the point. Profane. The boys are buzzing. Shot is on by Pathan, and a great save by Takedown.
And this is what Deadly Phantoms needed. They need to get into the offensive zone and get something generated for themselves after they had some negative momentum with that first goal, and Herlev able to capitalize on the second. Going to be big for that defensive Herlev to show up right here in a big moment.
Frankie gets that one ahead to Pathan. Pathan brings it over the line. Profane, he's a step offside.
And it kind of brings context there to what you were saying earlier, Tegan, with how good Herlev has been in this game defensively. You have to remember, they average under 2 goals allowed per game, only 57 allowed in their 30 games in the regular season. This is a team where a game like this benefits them with how good and how talented they are on the defensive end. So it's going to be a tough task with Deadly Phantoms on the other end. We'll see if they can keep this up.
And they can't as Karani comes in with another goal, and it is 3-0 for the Eagles. Vib home into the middle, and Sooth just touches that over to Karani, and he scores.
And the Eagles are soaring high through the first 2 periods of Game 2 here. They have heard enough about how great they are defensively and how they struggled a little bit compared to Deadly Phantoms on the other end offensively. They said, we can score just as well as the team across us can. 3 goals now in this game. That's the same amount as they had in all of Game 1. Well, it's about 5 periods of hockey. This is a great game right now for Herlev Eagles, and for Deadly Phantoms, imperative that you score the next goal and quick.
Here comes Profane as he looks to do that. Gets it down low to Psycho. Psycho behind it to Flo. Flo drops that one out front, but it's going to be eaten up there by Takedown.
Yeah, and speaking of things that benefit Takedown, now he has a 3-goal lead, and with the way that he's been playing, man, it's tough to see Herlev losing this game right now. They've been spectacular defensively. They have a goalie and Takedown that has been sharp all night long. They're going to have to keep it up because this Deadly Phantoms team can score, but you got to love the way this game is trending here for the team to win.
Another big save by Takedown, and Herlev just needs to kind of play routine hockey right now, don't they, Brandon? As they don't mind playing a slow period here, but I don't know if they should take their foot off the gas. There's 15 seconds here to go in the second period. Face-off is one back. Good play. Flo, oh, we decided to throw that one back to the defense. Here's Frankie back to Psycho. Poked off, and a good job by the Eagles to get themselves out of another clean period.
Yeah, and another clean period. They're going to have to put one more clean period together, Tegan. The 3-goal lead now. All you have to do is just play a nice, simple game. The clock is your friend. It is on your side. Just have to play mistake-free hockey and keep everything in front of you if you are the Herlev Eagles. You've gotten the goals you need to get. Don't want to necessarily get overly conservative and take your foot off the gas pedal, as you put it, but nevertheless, you don't need to do anything too crazy. You just gotta stay well positioned, which they've done so good on both ends of all day. That's really where all their goals have come from, is being in the right place at the right time, being in positioning. The goals may not be pretty from them, but they have great IQ behind them. They always are at that right place the way they need to be. It's a big reason they're out 3-0, not just on that defensive end, but on the offensive end as well.
Yeah, I think that was a gorgeous, gorgeous goal we just saw from Dree Mickey over to Karani. The first one was a little broken. The second one was a little broken. But regardless, 3 great goals by Herlev. And they just need to play a nice, calm period here and not let the Phantoms drive them down, Brandon. In the ECL Pro division here, Herlev up 1-0 in the series. Their respective lineups in the bottom corners. And it's our last period of hockey here. Maybe, as we've had lots of overtime. Here's Flo on the left-hand side. Drops that one back. It's going to be picked up by Vibhom. He looks to send Karani. Karani, let's see if he has a step here, and that is going to be called icing.
Something to kind of talk about. You kind of mentioned how 2 of their goals are a little bit broken, and obviously not much you can do about that if you are Deadly Phantoms. But even if they are broken plays, you have to credit Herlev for being there and getting themselves in a position to be able to capitalize. Obviously, no play is there if you are not in position to be able to take advantage of it. So it may not be the pretty goal, it may not be the most wide open or well creative opportunities, but you have to be there and get yourself that opportunity, and Herlev has done that in this game.
Totally agreed, Brandon. Right time, right place. That's half of hockey when the defense is so good, right? As that one is going to be poked off. Dream Mickey now is going to reset down low. Good forward check. Profane out front. What a save takedown.
And Takedown doing what he needs to do per usual. We mentioned how good he had been in the regular season, that 82 save percentage, 7 shutouts in 26 games played. That's over a quarter of his games holding the team to a fat 0. We're not going to predict anything here, but he's played a sharp game through the first 40 minutes of hockey.
Profane Pathan with a shot on takedown with a great save. Here's Flo now as the forecheck is strong from the Phantoms. Back to the point. Psycho tries to shoot, but Vibholm with a great save, and here goes Vibholm. Vibholm to Sooth. That one's going to be taken away here. Psycho drops that one out front. Pathan now. Pathan just going to skate that one in, trying to find a lane. He's pinched off by Dream Mickey, and Dream Mickey just sends that one all the way down. He doesn't mind taking the icing here, Brandon.
Yeah, don't mind that at all. Kill off that time. Don't allow a quality opportunity for your opponent that's down 3-0. Just gotta have to trust that you can maybe get this this defensive face-off win, and if you can't, trust your defense to get out of the zone and your goalie to make some saves if he has to.
Big tie-up. It's going to be won, though, as I thought, by Phantoms, but the Herlev Eagles somehow come out of that and throw it all the way down, and now's where it gets a little scary, Brandon, is we do see the face-off plays that tend to work a lot of the time, and when you've had a double icing, that could be trouble.
Not only that, but you have to consider this. This is a team in Deadly Phantoms that do utilize their defense a lot more than most teams on the offensive end. So not only do you have to keep in mind the 3 forwards in front of you, but you have to watch out for that point a little bit too. So it's not as easy as just collapsing in front of your goalie, taking away that cross-crease play. You have to watch out for your 2 defensemen in Psycho Skills and Frankie on the other side of you. So you have a lot to kind of look out for. Makes it really important that you can win this defensive zone faceoff, get out of the zone, and continue to drain that clock down, not allow Deadly Phantoms to get that high-quality chance.
Face off in the offensive zone here for the Phantoms, and they need to get to work. Here's Sandello. Karani tries to move that one out of the zone. It's picked off here by Psycho. Psycho just dumps that one in. And Pathan gets there first. Pathan stops up, lower circle, walks back, backhand. That was a little bit of a tricky shot, and why not try everything now?
Yeah, you're down 3-0 and you only have 10:28 to go. The time is not getting any better if you're Deadly Phantom, so why not throw anything on net and hope it maybe takes a bounce like it did for Herlev and that you have someone in the right position to capitalize. Not a bad chance there. Maybe not a high-quality shot, but anything could go in as we've seen in this game. Good
block there by Vibholm as he answered with goals in game 1. He's answering with blocks in game 2 as here goes Profane down the other way. That one's going to be picked off by Psycho, and good puck support. Looks to go across. Pathan with a shot. And how did that one not find the back of the net? Flo tries to make a pass out front, and we're going to see a power play here for the Phantoms. So 8.5 to go. Maybe this is their chance to get their foot in the door, so to speak.
Yeah, we saw them get back to a better momentum in game 1 with a power play goal. They're going to try to get back in the game here in game 2 with their first power play all game. Special teams hasn't really been a factor so far in this game 2. Here's his chance to kind of make himself active with a 3-0 deficit and a chance for fans to maybe get something going for themselves.
Whoa, Frankie, Psycho, Profane. Profane. Good pass back to Frankie, Profane, and oh no! He had a wide open cage, and the slap shot goes off the side of the net now to play.
Yeah, and I think Takedown going to thank his lucky stars that one didn't go in. And wide open net for Phantoms is just not able to take advantage, unfortunately, but a chance for him here in the offensive zone again.
Flo sails that one wide as well. It pops back out to Frankie. Frankie to Psycho. Psycho walks in, fires. That one's blocked in front by Karani. Here's Flo now. Flo looking across. Vibholm coming out and helping out. And great penalty killing and defense by Herlev.
That's what Herlev has been strong at all season. We talked about them being a really good penalty kill team. They have shown that throughout this game. Only 1 for 3 on the power play with Phantoms in game 1. Maybe going 0 for 1 the way this is looking here in game 2.
Sooth sends that one ahead to Vibholm. Vibholm gets that down, and they finished off the penalty kill, and that one was actually set from their own side of center, Brandon. So we're coming all the way back down to Eagles territory here.
Yeah, and for Eagles, you just kind of have to continue to hope that you can do what you've been doing. Just 6:21. That's a goal a minute for Phantoms to come back in this game. So things looking good for Herlev. Just got to play smart and keep everything in front of you.
Goes Karani with a great poke check off of the stick of Frankie. Karani, nice move, walked in, but what a poke check by Psycho to keep the game still 3-0. Puck behind the net. It's going to be wrapped back to the point. Sandello, good move down to Karani. Karani, as look at them just holding it down low, playing the time game. Profane Kiss is going to get it going the other way, but a good pick up by Vivholm. Vivholm back to Sandello. Sandello, nice move up to Vivholm to Sooth. Into the middle. Dream Mickey to Karani. Karani with a nice move. Gets around a couple defenders. Karani fires that one wide. Very nice moves to open up some lanes there. As Flo now coming in with 2:45 to go. Puck out front, picked up by Soothie. Goes up the wall to Karani. Picked up by Path, and he fires it off, and it's steered away by Takedown. Here's Flo. Flo walks in, and the pass was made, but what a defensive play there by the Eagles, as that was Dream Mickey. Here goes Karani. Karani all alone. He goes between the legs and gets a hat trick anyway.
And he may have had a little bit of help there at the end, but a pretty goal nevertheless to put the icing on the cake for Herlev. A 4-0 lead with a little bit over a minute to go, and it looks like they're on their way to a 2-0 series lead as the 6th seed nevertheless. So going to be interesting to see if maybe Phantoms can break this, get some momentum going for the next game, but this game, all Herlev, and what a display that they have put on.
Here comes Sooth now as he's going to get a chance. He's tripped up, and we're going to get a penalty shot.
Oh, wow. We don't see this too often, Tegan. This is going to be a lot of fun. A penalty shot in esports. I am all here for it. Let's see if they can convert.
Sooth is going to be going one-on-one here with RPH. 40 seconds to go. As here he comes. Sooth coming in on RPH. Holds forehand, backhand. What a goal!
And how about that? Isn't that indicative of how Herlev likes to play? Just a nice impatient penalty shot, kind of held that kind of twitchy forehand way back, almost behind his own skates, and then right at that last minute just got him the bite there on that one little backhand move and opened up the net for Sooth's second goal of the game, and Herlev just doing a little bit of window dressing on the old statistics here in this one, but the final result looking like it's all but a formality here at this point.
5-0 game, Brandon. We got nothing but overtime in our first 3, and this one definitely not what we expected. As here's Path and drops it back to Psycho. Into the middle, shot is on by Frankie, but that's saved by Takedown. Here's Frankie again, 14 to go. That one's poke checked and outside. Another good poke check, jars the puck loose. Here's Karani. Karani just carrying that one down low to Vivholm. Vivholm to Karani. Karani spins, looks out front, and that is going to be a shutout here for the Eagles. Takedown gets a shutout, and what a game for them as they go ahead 2-0 here in the ECL Pro Playoffs.
And Takedown with yet another shutout this season. We mentioned he had those 7 shutouts in 26 games played in the regular season when he gets his first of the playoffs right there in a well-earned shutout. Just a great game from all 6 from the Herlev Eagles. They had the offense, were in the right places at the right times and got themselves chances. The defense was spectacular in really both games, and it showed itself especially in game 2 with that big donut that they put on the board, and then obviously Takedown making the saves that he needed to keep some of those really risky chances out of the net for Herlev Eagles, and a 2-0 lead for them. They've been solid this season. They continue that on against a really tough team in Deadly Phantom. So a well-deserved 2 wins for Herlev Eagles. But let me tell you, I don't think you've heard the last with Phantoms. They could very easily get themselves back in this series here in a couple of days.
No, they definitely can, Brandon. And I think that's the best thing about these games is, you know, you can see a team come back at any point. As, you know, when you see goals like this, you get yourself right time, right place, you're going to win some hockey games.
Yeah, and I think that's what a lot of it is about. Obviously, you'd love to see that skill, but sometimes what wins games is just being in that right place at the right time, having that IQ to have the positioning, because you never know what can happen. You get the right balance, and if you're in position for it, it might just end up on your stick, and you might have that open net in front of you to capitalize on. We saw Herlev get 2 or 3 goals because of that, not just in game 2, but in game 1 also. So, gotta credit Herlev for being aware of where they were on the ice, being aware of the situation they were in, and putting themselves in the correct position to be able to capitalize on a lot of those chances. And that's why, you know, obviously the goals, maybe not the prettiest, maybe a nice bouncer here that went their way, but at the end of the day, you gotta put yourself in position to take advantage and to execute on those. Herlev did that in this game, and it's a big reason why they're going to be up 2-0 in the series.
Yeah, we get a look at the good old-fashioned penalty shot esports goal. We love that, Brandon, and just a great effort here is 5 goals, 2 of them coming from Sooth, 3 of them coming from Karani, and that's a big W here for the Eagles.
Yeah, well deserved, and it's so big to get that 2-0 series lead because now you can go into the next day. You have those 2 games under your belt. You win 1, then you're up 3-0 or 3-1 with a chance to go ahead and close out the series in all of your remaining games. So a nice start there for Herlev to get that second game under their belt, and now Deadly Phantoms gonna have to come out with a lot of urgency here in a couple of days to try to get this thing back into a bit of a striking distance. Obviously, series nowhere near over 2-0, but games 3 and 4 just a little bit more urgent than what they would have been before if they would have tied this thing 1-1.
Perfect, Brandon. This has been a great hockey on both sides all the way from the start. Let's take a look at our latest scores from around the playoffs, as I'm sure we're going to see a bunch of overtime games here.
Oh yeah, we have had plenty of close action, as you can see on the top of your screen. One we didn't get to really talk about earlier. How about Sinister getting another overtime there, a win versus Stargaze, and that was going to be one of those really interesting series between 2 rather even teams. We saw that overtime there in the second column for Deadly Phantoms and Herlev, and then, as you said, Tegan, more overtimes, 1 for each series. So each series that we see listed has seen extra hockey, and we've said it all season long, the parity and the deep competition here in the ECL Pro Division and Series. We're seeing that really play out in the playoffs, and it just makes for such entertaining playoff hockey. You really love to see it. It does not get much better than this.
It does not get much better. Look at that, Brandon. 1, 2, 3, 4 overtime games, 4 games won in regulation. And if that doesn't say the skill level here, nothing does.
Yeah, and that just kind of goes to show you how good all of these teams are and how even they are. It's why it's so fun when you see them play against each other, because you get results in games like this. It really makes for fun, exciting hockey to call and to watch.
Definitely does. Here's your round of 16, Brandon, and you're getting to see some of the scores. No Rex Gaming up 2-1. Firebirds came back and tied it up with the Nastia.
Yeah, and then you also see Tahornet making it a series as they dropped that first game there to their 6th seed opponent. A lot of 1-1 scores, so we talked about how even games have been. Series are playing out just the same way, and keep in mind there, that last series, bottom right of your screen, Renascor was able to make it a 3-1 series, as we saw a little bit earlier today. So it's going to be fun to watch how these things play out, especially with some of these teams that may be a little bit underseeded, really keeping up with some of these teams. Can't really say that they're punching above their weight with how even they all are, but it's always fun to see that quote-unquote underdog go in and make things a tight series. It really makes it a lot more entertaining.
Absolutely. And if you enjoyed the ECL Pro Playoffs today, you're going to want to check out the ECL Elite on Wednesday with the legends Tugi and Sin, as they call some great hockey up ahead, Brandon.
Yeah, and keep in mind that game on the right side there between ZSC and Granite, that's number 10 versus number 8, and Granite right on that playoff cutout. So that is a monstrous series for both of these two teams trying to keep their playoff hopes alive and well. And man, oh man, the ECL Elite always so fun because you always know you're going to get some of the best teams in Europe facing off against one another.
And then again on Thursday, you can jump in with Tugi and Sin for more ECL Elite action, as you're going to get to watch ZSC Esports go against Farstad, and then Havu and H-Reds, as that should be a good one.
Oh yeah, 2 giants of the ECL, 2 champion teams and powerhouses in Havu and H-Reds. I know a lot of people are going to be looking forward to that, and you cannot slight ZSC and Fredrikstad as well, as Fredrikstad, they are a playoff team, 5th as of now in the standings, and like we said, ZSC kind of in that playoff hunt, looking to get themselves in as well. So a lot of games to look for on the ECL Elite side. I know I can't wait to sit back, relax, and tune into those, so hopefully some of our viewers in watching today will join us and tune in as well, with Tugi and Sin being on the call for that.
Absolute legends in the booth for the ECL Elite, and here For the ECL Pro, it's been myself, it's King Lime, and Brandon B. Major Bigsby. We want to thank all of our amazing sponsors at Wilhelm, Kovalan Lakrati, and of course ST Hockey, everyone behind the scenes at Sports Gamer GG. It has been an absolute great time here, and we will catch you tomorrow for more ECL Elite action.